When we talk about mindfulness, we often picture moms, women, yoga classes, or self-help books. But the truth is, men need mindfulness just as much, maybe even more. I've been running my mindfulness studio in Salem, Utah for over 5 years, and over 50% of my group clients are men. And over half of my individual mentoring sessions are also with men. It's been interesting to consider why mindfulness is such an effective lens for men. And today I'm going to walk you through what I see as the hidden benefits of mindfulness for men. The ones that actually matter in real life, in conflict, in career, in relationships, in fatherhood, and in the private inner world most men keep to themselves. Consider this statistic. Harvard Medical School has found that men are far less likely to seek help for emotional challenges. Yet, they experience stress-related physiological illness at almost twice the rate of women. Think about that. Men are taught to handle it, but internally, their bodies are paying the price. That is why mindfulness matters. Not because men need to be more emotional, but because their health, longevity, and relationships depend on tools that help them regulate the pressure they're already carrying. Most men were never taught healthy emotional tools. They were taught performance, strength, independence. They were taught to suck it up, not to burden others, not to ask for help, not to make anything a big deal. But here's the truth I see in my work every single day. Men feel, even if they don't have the words or the awareness to name it. Men carry pressure that no one sees. Men often handle conflict in isolation. Men experience anxiety, overwhelm, betrayal, and shame, but rarely have a place to process it. And so much of this energy stays trapped in the body. So my message for these men is that mindfulness isn't about becoming touchy-feely, as my dad likes to say. It's about cultivating a new kind of intelligence within yourself that will improve the practical outcomes in the parts of your life that you care about most. Mindfulness builds an emotional intelligence, which for most men is currently underdeveloped. And it's just as important to a successful life as the logical intelligence we usually focus on. Hidden benefit number 1, mastering the internal stress response. One of the biggest unspoken struggles men face is physiological overdrive. It's that constant hum of stress in the background. One of the anchors I'm always coming back to with my clients is the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. When I use this prayer with my clients to bring more clarity to their situation, we usually find that so much of their stressful circumstances falls into the category of things I cannot change. So our greatest power is found in changing what we can, which is the way we're responding to that stress. Most of the men I work with tend to respond to stress in one of two ways. They blow up with anger and reactivity, creating a sharp disconnection with the people they care about, or they shut down and go numb, creating a silent but deepening disconnection with the people they care about. I want you to consider for a minute how the way you're managing your stress is impacting your daily life. Zoom it in to just today. How did your response to whatever stress you're experiencing impact your life today? Impact the people around you. Impact your ability to move forward in your day as you'd like to. How would your life, your day, be different if you'd had better tools to move through that stress in a healthier way? Mindfulness disrupts the unconscious cycle that we all go into when we're under stress. It gives practical tools to regulate adrenaline and cortisol, interrupt racing thoughts, stop reacting, and return to presence quickly. This is not a soft skill, a female skill, or a touchy-feely skill. It's a performance skill. A grounded nervous system means sharper thinking, clearer decisions, and fewer moments that you regret later. It's the difference between yelling or responding, between checking out or staying in the moment, between spiraling or recentering. Hidden benefit number 2 is improving relationships without needing to talk more. Most men think their partner wants them to say more, share more, or be more emotional. But what women actually want, even more than words, is your actual presence. What the heck does that even mean? You might be asking. Presence means, first and foremost, that you're in the present moment. You're not in the past, you're not in the future. And you're definitely not scrolling on your phone for the latest football scores, news headlines, or mountain bike videos. Mindfulness trains people in presence with consistent practice of simple, intuitive skills that become like second nature over time. Focusing the mind, regulating the breath, a grounded posture, slower responses, listening without defensiveness. While on one level, these are neurological responses, they are also relational skills, and they will absolutely improve your ability to create a feeling of connection in your relationships over time. Here's what I hear from women as their partners start to practice mindfulness. He didn't shut down this time. He stayed with me instead of exploding or walking away. I could feel he was actually here. And one of my favorites that I'm still experiencing with my husband, we are able to have conversations we have never been able to have before. One of my favorite quotes about this relational byproduct of practicing mindfulness is from Adrienne Rich, whom I quote in my memoir, Undone, Unafraid. She says, "An honorable human relationship, that is, one in which two people have the right to use the word love, is a process delicate, often terrifying to both persons involved, a process of refining the truths they can tell each other." You can't create intimacy in relationship if you don't have the skills within yourself to tolerate a differing viewpoint or to have your image of yourself challenged. The more mindful you become, the more you're able to deepen and refine the truths that you can share with another person in a way that creates connection rather than conflict. Mindfulness builds emotional containment, the ability to hold discomfort without losing yourself. In my experience, this changes relationships more than any communication training. Hidden benefit number 3 is addressing unspoken shame. Here's something a lot of people don't want to talk about. Men feel shame too. Maybe they experience this shame as I'm bad, or maybe it sounds more like I'm failing. I should be stronger. I should be able to handle this. I shouldn't feel this much. Or if anyone really knew. Mindfulness gives men a private pathway to work with shame without needing to talk about it all the time. Individual mindfulness practice teaches men how to witness emotions instead of suppressing them, create space between sensation and reaction, or between stimulus and response, soften the internal critic, allow imperfection, and recognize the humanity underneath the performance. And the fact is, whether or not you want to name the emotions you buried in there, you have to deal with them at some point, or they are just going to keep spilling over onto everything you're trying to create and accomplish in the world. Not dealing with your emotions isn't really an option. You can either deal with them consciously, with real tools and skills to move through them in a healthy way, or you can keep dealing with them unconsciously, where they come out sideways at all the wrong times and they wreak havoc on your life and everyone around you. Mindfulness gives you a practical, methodical way to start actually dealing with your emotions. That doesn't have to feel touchy-feely at all. It's more like a scientific study in your own mind is the specimen. Hidden benefit number 4 is better balance and less people pleasing. Sometimes there's a stereotype of the self-sacrificing woman, but the truth is that there are actually many men who don't realize how much of their stress comes from trying to be everything for everyone. Another one of my favorite mantras with my clients is, I am responsible for my own happiness. I am responsible for my own resentment. Over time, mindfulness helps people recognize where they overextend, where resentment builds, where they've abandoned themselves to keep the peace, and where they say yes out of guilt instead of alignment. Because as we're present in the moment, we start to see the patterns in ourselves behind the waves of resentment, overwhelm, or fear we might be feeling on a day-to-day basis, and the habit-driven choices that drive them. And from that clarity, balance becomes much easier. We just know better our limitations, and we're able to act consistent with what feels right in our gut. Hidden benefit number 5, purpose and identity clarity. Sometime midlife, men often reach a point where they ask, is this all there is? What am I even doing with my life? Why do I feel disconnected? Mindfulness reconnects men to the inner compass that gets buried under years of responsibility and having to play roles in so many ways. It allows men to hear the quiet voice of intuition, feel their deeper desires, align with their values, stop living on autopilot, and take actions that feel authentic instead of obligatory. This creates an internal shift that affects everything, from fatherhood to leadership to partnership. It can really bring back a sense of passion to life. And if you're midlife like me, this time the passion isn't about meeting some outside standard of success or proving anything to anyone. This time it's about awakening to who you truly are and savoring the brief moment you get to be here, experiencing it all. Like, instead of how successful can I be, it's like, how much joy can I experience while I'm here? How much love can I create while I'm here? If you're a man watching this video, or you know someone who needs these tools, start simple. Just one mindful breath in the middle of your day. One moment where you pause before reacting. Check the link in the description to explore my year-round mindfulness program, where at live weekly meetings, I create spaces for people to come to know themselves in a deeper, more authentic way. Don't forget to tune in for my next video where I dig deeper into presence, the foundation of everything we do at Undone Academy, and how to find it.